from liquor bottles in the street to trash. We're at the intersection right now of A. Philip Randolph and Jesse in Jacksonville. Police say this was the site of a gathering after midnight that ended in violence. JSO tells us that 4 people were shot. It was a barrage of bullets. Police say 12 to 15 shots rang off. The 4 victims were 2 women, ages 34 and 39, as well as 2 men, aged 37 and 43. The 34-year-old woman was found on scene and taken to a nearby hospital. The other 3 victims took themselves to a hospital.
So apparently, this shooting happened at a memorial for the rapper Lil Poppa, who lost his life from what they're saying was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Thinking it happened down in Atlanta, and so they was having a memorial for him in Jacksonville, Florida, and if you listen to all the ages of the people who were shot, they was in their upper 30s, and one was 40. People who more than likely just not, physically able to get away, or when bullets start flying, I mean, bullets don't have no name or no direction to particularly go. But you want to go out and memorialize people, but you got to understand your environment as well. Jacksonville is one of those places that, from everything I've heard from it, man, it's a lot of, like, gun violence going on, a lot of wars in the street, as they would say, going on in that area. Not somewhere where I would want to particularly live at all, because it really goes down there, and um, you could just be an innocent bystander and mess around and get shot and catch a bullet. So, this is where Little Papa was from. Of course, we know Little Papa as a rapper. Those who are into hip hop music. He signed with Yo Gotti's CMG, and I remember him having one song a couple years ago that I was like, okay, cool. I heard him on like that compilation, one of the first compilations that he did with his new artists and stuff like that. A couple years back, it was pretty okay. I think it was a song with him and Yo Gotti. Um, but other than that, I really didn't follow his music too heavy like that. I feel like it's definitely a generation below mine and stuff like that, and just didn't really resonate with the music too much. But um, unfortunately, he lost his life, and it's a lot of mysterious circumstances surrounding you know the way that he lost his life as well. Seen a lot of content creators diving into it, and still have a lot of videos about that situation to kind of look at and see what information that they're putting out there or that they received. Something with the meeting with the manager, and then the manager, like witnessed it and stuff like that. So definitely a lot of mysterious circumstances surrounding his death, and it's just tragic that you go out to memorialize someone in their hometown, and end up being a shooting. So there's gonna be people who you know they might have not liked Little Papa, or they just want to definitely put fear into the community not to go out and be celebrating them. Just never really know. It could be a number of reasons why people would come to a memorial and do this type of stuff. Maybe they know that it's gonna be certain individuals that are gonna be at the memorial that they've had on their list, and they feel like this is the perfect time to go and try to execute their plan. The sad part is a lot of times it's not even their targets who get shot; it's people who are just there.
Police in the community tell us that this was a gathering to remember Jacksonville rapper Lil Poppa, who died at 25 in Atlanta.
I remember being a nice little kid, growing up singing and rapping inside the church. So, yeah, I enjoyed him. I hate he's going.
Robert Phelps, who attends First Baptist Church of Oakland down the street from the shooting, says this isn't normal for out east.
Of course, like I said, I haven't seen anything like this. I heard anything like this happen in years. So, yeah, definitely out of character. I mean, they always had gatherings every night.
Bishop Harry Williams of In the Word International Church on Sparing Street is calling on partygoers and DJs to help spare attendees from the violence.
And don't be afraid to tell somebody, if they see something, don't be afraid. Tell them, hey, man, look, I see you got that gun on your side. Put it in the car, man. You know what I mean? Let's just talk. Let's hang out. Have a good time.
Man, they gonna up that thing on 'em. Talking about, man, hey, yeah, and put it in the car. Man, they're not gonna listen to it, man. I feel like we've gotten to the point now, especially that the youth has gotten their hands on firearms and stuff like that. They're not gonna listen to nobody trying to tell them anything that's gonna be good for them or good for the others around them. They're just not gonna listen. It only takes one person not to listen to set off a whole bunch of stuff. So, you know, I mean, it's good in theory, man. It's like, easy said, hardly gonna be done. Again, man, you can go and try to give all the advice to people and try to give, as much experience or wisdom to people, and it's just gonna go in one ear and out the other. A lot of times they've already had their mind made up on what they're gonna do, and then, they're just gonna act on it. So, in my opinion, man, I can't sit here and say it's a waste of breath and stuff like that. Because, I mean, you may get a few that listen to you. And you could save lives by doing that. But more than likely, man, they're not going to listen to you. And you can also put yourself in a whole lot of danger. But at the end of the day, man, for people who are out there, trying to, speak to the youth and trying to put themselves in a leadership position. Make sure that you're living by what you're trying to preach on them. That's one thing. And you know, you can't be scared of what the consequences are going to be if you do approach a person and tell them, hey, man, I think you might want to put your gun up, or um, I see that you got your gun on you. Let's try to keep it peaceful. But again, good advice, man. But we already know a lot of people would not listen to that advice, especially if they know what's going on, especially if they've already done stuff themselves or know that there's a threat of something getting done to them. But let me know what you guys think about this whole ordeal. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.